The news, good evening. There will be no charge in the electricity tariff rate for all sectors for the next 3 months. The chairman of the Energy Commission says that they are maintaining the tariff rate to maintain stability in the price for consumers, as well as to help the PUC financially in this difficult time whereby revenue forecasted for this year has not come in. However, Mr. Jean Rassoul says they are monitoring the situation closely.
And then to to make up for loss of revenue PUC has encountered with the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. Loss of revenue mainly from the commercial sector. That is the main reasoning of not adjusting the tariff. And the third reason could be that the forecast we foresee in the next 3 months is that the electricity, the fuel price is likely to go up, and then we will have to mitigate to absorb some of this if need be, so that it doesn't impact strongly on the consumer.
The price of fuel is at 16 rupees 4 cents today. The price was at its lowest in May when fuel was being sold at 14 rupees 96 per litre. CPEC's commercial general manager Sarah Romet said the increase is determined by the purchase price from their supplier Total. She explained that a change in the price of fuel will depend on the COVID-19 situation worldwide.
The economies are starting to move. Flights are picking up. People are going back to work. People are driving around. Industries are starting to operate, and there's a higher demand for fuel, which has caused a hike in the international price. And this is what is being reflected in the pump price. So if this is going to move forward with the same trend, and we feel that there is no second wave, if there is no second wave and things improve, then you would expect that the price would start to go back up. However, if there is a second wave globally, it might reflect exactly what happened in April, where the demand of fuel went down and the prices went down. A second element that has affected our price is the rate of the dollar to the rupee. And if this continues to creep up, then that will also affect the price that we pay to the supplier and consequently the price at the pumps.
The Central Bank of Seychelles Annex building is continuously tilting away from the main building. This is the effect of piling work that was conducted on the ex-Pirates Arm site. In February 2018, the building was 78 millimeters apart, and following the last measurement conducted this year, the building is now 90 millimeters apart. For security purposes, the CBS has taken the decision to demolish the existing building and build a new one. The bank's second deputy governor, Jennifer Sullivan, says demolition work will take around 6 weeks to complete at a cost of 4.29 million rupees.
The demolition work has started as of yesterday, and the demolition work will be in phases. It will be a top-down approach, and it will not result in staff needing to not be in the building, so the service of the central bank will continue as normal. With regards to the public, we are asking the public to pay particular attention when they walk on the pavement, because the work is ongoing, but we will not be blocking any of the pavements. They can still move, but just to bear extra care when they're doing their movements.
And the central bank is being compensated for the damage in its annex building by the pension fund. 10.3 million rupees is being paid into installments. As for the Pirates Arms building, work is expected to begin as soon as the new company, Frankie Pyle, can get its foreign employees in the country. The head of project at the Seychelles Pension Fund, Tommy Marie, says that the compensation to damages on the CBS annex will not have any impact on their budget.
In terms of the budget, it's not really affecting us as much because, as you know, in a project, we always keep a certain amount. It's called contingencies. And in that contingency, there's a risk allowance for any eventuality that happens that is unforeseen. So this 10 million will fall under this contingency risk allowance. So we catered it for in our original budget. If the COVID-19 situation gets better and the government allows GOPs to be obtained and foreign workers to come in the country, we expect to start the piling works in 1 month time and eventually finish in maybe January or February next year. That is if everything goes well and there's no other lockdown or anything else apart from that. And in terms of the project itself, we expect to finish in 2022. That is if everything goes well as well.
To date, 954 people have undergone the polymerase chain reaction or PCR test for COVID-19 in the country. This was announced by the Director of Research for Public Health for the Public Health Laboratory, Dr. Emmeline Schroff, during this afternoon's press conference by the Health Department. Two senior officers of the Public Laboratory were present to give details about the 3 different COVID-19 tests they carry out, as well as statistics. Actually, the lab can carry out about 100 tests per day, but with the commissioning of a new machine which recently entered the country, the technologists will be able to carry out 1,000 tests per day.
So to date, the Public Health Laboratory has tested 954 people. And out of this 954, 47% were suspect cases, 26% were people exiting quarantine after 14 days, 17% were people exiting Seychelles, they were travelers going away, whereby the destination required that they have a PCR test of COVID-19, and 11% is screening, ongoing screening. The screening is ongoing on healthcare workers or perhaps on other people that have been exposed. So although 954 people were tested, the actual number of PCR tests conducted is higher. It's 1,040. And the reason behind this is that sometimes we have to repeat testing if a test is inconclusive, or also for monitoring of patients who've been diagnosed, we actually have to retest them several times to monitor the viral load until we can actually clear them to say that they've got no more virus and they can release from the isolation. With antibody testing, we're not looking for the presence of the virus directly, but we're looking for the response that the patient has to the virus. And this response usually is the production of antibodies. And in this case, there are 2 types of antibodies, what you call IgG and IgM. So to date, the Public Health Laboratory has done 1,092 rapid antibody tests. Very recently, about 2 weeks ago, we've received a 3rd type of testing, and this is called the rapid antigen test. And for the antigen test, it's actually looking for the virus in the person. So we collect the swab, usually a nasal swab, whereby this test tries to detect a component on the surface of the virus. And to date, we've conducted about 100 of these tests.
The Minister for Education, Jeanne Siméon, says that she's satisfied with the performance of the SIAD and SPSA post-secondary schools. She made the comment after a visit of both schools at Anse Royal The schools explained how they are progressing with lesson delivery with the SPSA, which has moved a large majority of classes to online platforms, and SIAD, which is trying to catch up with lessons that were put to a halt due to the restrictions on movement because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Both schools are effectively implementing the Ministry of Health guidelines to protect their students from COVID-19. And with this, we end this news summary. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant evening.